Camdenton bus driver Brett Emehiser, who was arrested for allegedly driving drunk with numerous students from Camden County School District on his bus. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, right? And so the bond was set for him, $250,000, and there's 20 different felony counts of endangering the welfare of a child, Class D felony, each punishable of up to 7 years in prison if convicted.
Yeah, so this is a guy that he was accused of very erratic driving, almost falling out of the bus when law enforcement arrived to, get him out of the bus.
Did you read the PC statement?
I did not, huh?
Yeah, I actually pulled up both the cases on the Emehiser case and the Emehiser case on CaseNet and looked at all the court entries and docket entries and who their legal representation was, and then you can actually pull up the PC statement and the complaints, and you can see exactly what the officer that arrested him said in his paperwork. And yeah, it was kind of wild, the things that happened, the things that were said. We'll show you some of those right there from that PC statement. Now, that was initially with at least 20 students on board, and you saw the comments. So naturally, you got parents, you got concerned citizens. And so his bond was set, and I wanted to find out who his legal defense was. Well, he didn't have means to afford a private attorney, so he had petitioned for a public defender, and that had been denied, so they had appealed that. And that hearing, just a recent hearing, had found that it was fair that he would have to be given a public defender, and that is Michelle Leanne Parrish is going to be his public defender, and I could find little to nothing about her. She seems to be out of the Lebanon area. Not a lot of cases with her involved, which is probably not a great thing for Emehiser, but he said, I don't have the means to pay for my own legal defense, and so a public defender, and not only will he be against the state of Missouri represented by Rochelle Grosvenor, Camden County prosecutor, they called in two different special assistant prosecutors, Sherry Nicole Hamner and Stephen Mark Kretzer. Both, Kretzer is with Camden County and Hamner is with Pulaski County. So they're really bringing in plenty of prosecutors to make sure they throw the book at Emehiser here.
It was interesting to me that his bond was higher than the bond over here where somebody actually died. In the case of the Christopher Waymeyer fleeing, causing the death of the police officer, that was only $100,000, and this one, the drunk bus driver, was $250,000.
Yeah, but apples and oranges. I mean, because you're going to have people that are going to argue with the Waymeyer situation. He never made contact with their car. He never actually did anything that caused. Now, his actions led to, whereas Emehiser, in complete guardianship control and, responsible for those children, those minors at the time, made the choice to get inebriated under substance and put the lives of not just the minimum of 20 students on his bus at risk, but the other people that were on the road. So, I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. I think the bond was probably fair, and believe it or not, he already bonded out that very same day for $250,000. Again, Dave Vincent bail bonds in Camdenton bonded him out, and he has a review hearing on October 8th, which is for the petition to say whether or not he gets to keep his public defender or qualifies for a public defender, which if you're able to bond out $250,000, I think you're going to need about 10% of that, $25,000. I don't know exactly how that works. But on that review on the 8th, they might say, hey, you don't need a public defender if you're able to bond out. Of course, details there I don't know. I did find out it'll be Honorable Judge Heather Miller presiding in this case, and also determine if his eligibility for that public defender will stay. And if he doesn't, I don't know if that means he's going to have to find another attorney, but something tells me that he's in deep trouble.
Yep. I think both those guys probably in some deep trouble.